Greetings, welcome to the Crypto Caravan. I am your host, Bitcoin Biff. Before we get started, I am not a financial advisor. I am just a van lifer who loves talking about crypto and sharing his thoughts and opinions on the space. Please, whenever investing into these projects, do not put in more than you are willing to lose. With that being said, I wanted to talk about my experience with the popular mining dApp, Baked Beans, discuss some of the things that I saw occur while investing, and just bring up some of the points that I hope will help investors make good informed decisions for themselves whenever they get involved with a project like this. At the end of March, one of my good friends asked me if I had heard about Baked Beans. Prior to him explaining what it was to me, I had never gotten involved into anything with DeFi other than buying a couple tokens on centralized exchanges based on price action. At first, when my friend told me, I laughed at the theme, but he explained to me what you would do is put your money into a locked pool of funds, rebake your beans, which is essentially compounding your money, and eating your beans, which would be withdrawing your rewards. Most of these mining dApps will tell you that the strategy you want to use is 6 days compound and 1 day withdraw until you get your return on investment back, which should take about 6 to 8 weeks. I decided that I would go ahead and get involved. I ended up aping into the project on April 1st. This was right at the beginning where an influx of investors came into Baked Beans. Within 1 to 2 weeks time, the amount of the pool went up from like 7,000 BNB to nearly 35,000, close to $15 million. I initially started with a 10-to-1 strategy, and my payout seemed to be on par for getting my initial back in about 5 to 6 weeks time. It was around the 21st though that things would start to change for Baked Beans. As I continued to follow YouTubers, I learned the mechanics of dApps like this and how their success depends on more money being deposited into the contract compared to going out. It was around the 21st that Baked Beans took a turn and started a deep decline, losing about 1,000 BNB per day, a trend that has continued to the time of this recording. The average investor, I'm sure, has been panic selling when they saw this. However, the biggest factor causing the drain on the TVL is whales. There was something that did not sit quite right with me on the Baked Beans platform, and it became very apparent by the time the TVL started declining that this was not how things should be run. Whenever you got into the Telegram chat, you would see that there was a separate chat specifically for whales of Baked Beans. When I got in, if you had 1 billion beans, the developers said that you would be accepted into this chat. As the average investor, this kind of gives you something to push towards, like, yeah, I'm gonna keep compounding, and once I get to 1 billion beans, I'm gonna be balling as a whale. But as the days continued passing, I would notice in the chat that the developer would keep raising this requirement to become part of this group, from 1 billion to 1.5 to 2 to 3. Being in that whale chat just kept getting further and further out of reach. I soon came to the realization that for the average investor in the main chat, you were not meant to be swimming with the big fish. The only people that the developer wanted in that chat were the early investors and anybody who raked in the YouTube referrals. The straw that would end up breaking the camel's back for me, though, came in the form of Toasted AVAX, a new platform from Baked Beans that would be the supposed answer to help Baked Beans recover after it started declining. Before the Toasted AVAX launch, it was being shared in the chats that the Baked Beans team was going to release a new miner, and it was going to be used to help sustain the TVL of the platform. The day before the official launch to the public, there was a rumor going around the Telegram chat that the new miner was already released by the developer in the separate whale chat. An honest YouTuber who I followed by the name of Justin Pratt started asking questions in the Telegram if this was true. Now, mind you, Justin Pratt was an avid supporter of Baked Beans from the time that I got in, and I watched several of his videos to educate myself. He asked the developer directly in the main chat, and not only did the developer block him, he also chose to try and smear his character. telling everybody that he was an idiot and had no morals. The very next day, Toasted AVAX was officially announced after big deposits were already made by whales. This can all be seen and verified on the blockchain. Insider trading at its finest, folks. What would be illegal if you weren't in DeFi. This is why DeFi is considered very high risk. There will be projects and developers that rig the game against the average investor. This is why it is so important that you do not put in anything that you are not willing to lose. I will keep repeating this on my channel, and this is why you hear all the other crypto YouTubers say this as well. There will be some investors, sadly, that will not get their return on investment. You have to do your research. You have to see what people are saying about a project, the good and the bad. Some people are quick to yell FUD when YouTubers present numbers and analytics, when numbers and analytics don't lie. We have to be real. You should want to listen to the FUD. Most YouTubers who are always just shilling a project are doing so because they have personal profit to gain from it. They don't necessarily care about the average investor and what money that they could lose. Right now, there are still people in Baked Beans telling you to keep rebaking 6-1 or have 30-1 diamond hands. At the same time, those people are also draining the contract and taking their profits. You want to look at the numbers. You want to look at the blockchain and see what the contract is doing. Listen to the negative opinions on a project as well. You want the pros and the cons. That's what's going to give you the full picture so you can make the best decision for yourself. You can't have yin without the yang. I know that there are some people that are not going to like what I have to say here, but all I am giving you is just one perspective, which is my personal truth and what I witnessed. You have to be careful out here. I saw one gentleman in the Telegram chat saying he was putting all his faith in Baked Beans, that this was his last hope to get him out of a serious financial struggle. This was sadly after the project already started its decline. You're free to make your own decisions based on your income and your risk tolerance, but personally, I would not put any money into Baked Beans, when the numbers show what they do. It's already past its peak. A common misconception that I see in the chats is people think that the miner that you're in will fluctuate with the market and that it can all turn around tomorrow and shoot past its all-time high. It is completely dependent on the amount of investors, amount of investors coming in and outpacing the whales that are draining the project. There are also now new miners that have improved on Baked Beans, creating anti-whale mechanisms that make it fair for every investor, that don't allow you to eat every day and drain the contract, that will force you to compound and you won't have to put it in the faith of other people doing, playing by the rules. There will be a huge tax charged in the event of somebody trying to withdraw more than one time than they are supposed to in a week. This is the type of miner that you want to look for. If you're an investor who's not playing with a lot of capital, you need to look for these kind of features and seek developers that show that they care about their community, that will treat everybody with dignity and respect, that will create projects that will improve on what's out there and not just copy and paste. What I am doing now personally is taking what I can out of Baked Beans and putting it into such projects that I believe are more sustainable. I highly recommend crop farmers, as they are among the first innovators to come out with some of the latest anti-whale mechanisms that every DeFi mining project moving forward should have at this point. Right now, I will show the BUSD crop farmer because I am doing a charity initiative. Should you want to sign up to the crop farmer family, I would encourage you to do your research. But if you would choose to use my referral link, I will donate 100% of the BUSD I receive for referrals to donate to prostate cancer research in honor of my dad, who passed away from stage 4. I would encourage you to watch my first video on this channel if you would like to learn more about this effort, and the links will be in the description. I will always keep it real with you guys. Like I said earlier, this is just me sharing my experience. Take it how you will, but if you enjoyed my content, I hope that you will like and subscribe. Also, I want to give a shout out to Dapper Don, who's putting in the work on his channel. Be sure to check out his honest and thorough reviews on innovative projects. And I also got to give a shout out to Justin Pratt for standing up for what was right in the Baked Beans Telegram. And I am looking forward to the Dapp that you're working to get out, bro. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Let's all make smart, informed decisions with our money and make sure that we hold the people who develop and promote these projects to high standards so that everybody can thrive in this space. I thank you all for listening. Until next time, take care.